The following presentation is brought to you by kmmedia.pro. Please visit kmmedia.pro for more information. Now stay right where you are as we present Welcome to Positive Talk Radio, evolving ideas one conversation at a time. Great guests, dynamic stories and interviews, plus new thoughts on a wide range of topics and concepts. I hope that you'll hang with me, Kevin McDonald, my friends, and of course, you. As together we work to understand why we are all here and what we can do to make our world a better place for all of us. To be happy, be kind, and live in peace together. Yep, that's Positive Talk Radio. To another edition of Positive Talk Radio. We've got an exciting show for you today and a couple of really dynamic people. And I don't know what else to say other than to introduce the two of you. Janet and Jenny are here. Janet is the mommy. Jenny is the daughter, and they have got an incredible story and one of heartbreak, difficulty, success, and a dynamic way to live, and a really great story for all of us. But before I go there, I've got to talk to Janet because you were an actress. You are an actress.
He's already put me out faster.
but because I've been reading your bio. And you and I have something in common? You know what that is?
You were an actor too.
I was, and one of the plays that I did in college was Taming of the Shrew.
Oh my gosh!
And I played next. My right-hand man I was Petruchio. My right-hand man was
Rubio,
which is the part that you played. Now, to be fair, in a much bigger production. Mine was a college production. Yours was an actual, real production with professional actors and all of that. But that was an amazing experience for me. Almost cost me my relationship at the time.
That Petruchio, that's lead role. That's college. Let me tell you, college puts out some tremendous plays and talented people. So I bet my mom dollar it was a wonderful production. But I could see you doing Petruchio.
Well, I was skinnier then, and I got to wear tights, which I wouldn't wear now. But
actually, you know what? I still have my outfit.
Do you really?
Yeah, I said, I got to keep this because I found it really hard to let him go because the fellow, he was from New York. He had done some stuff in New York that directed us. We were very fortunate to get him. And then he was at Ashcroft Theater in Portland, Oregon. And then he was asked to come and do this play. And he loves Shakespeare, right? Taming the Shrew. And I'd never done Shakespeare before. So it was cool. And he just let me go. He says, "You're a comedic genius." He says, "Just go for it." So I was doing stuff on stage. He just was cracking up. I said, "Do you want me to leave that in?" He goes, "Yeah." But it was just playing a guy. I didn't think it was I got to say, it's one of the characters I've done. And I've done quite a few plays, but I found him hard to let go of.
Yeah, if you were invested in it. She even wore Dad's underwear. You did though.
I did. You heard it all here, folks. I'm a method actor, right down to the underwear.
You're not supposed to say that.
No, that's funny. Do you know why? Because I forgot all about that. Your viewers are going to go, "Who do you have on your show today?"
Well, just so everybody is aware. When you're doing especially Shakespeare can be really tough. But when you're doing a play like that, you really have to get into the part, not only just the underwear, but you've really got to get into all of it. And the sad thing is, now I was 23 at the time, and the only thing I remember was when Petruchio had taken Kate to his home,
Yes.
and he put her in her room, and she hadn't eaten and stuff. The only thing I remember is, "Thus I have politically begun my reign. 'Tis my hope to end successfully. My falcon is now sharp and passing empty." That's all I remember.
But that, you know what? That is awesome that you remember that. Seriously, because Shakespeare's so hard. And I remember, Bruce, all these what do you call all these things we had to do beforehand. We had to do all these different things to be learning how to enunciate and how to do Shakespeare. At one time, he had us saying different Shakespeare lines from the play, and we had to go around the whole theater and then stop right on the stage. And he says to me, he gets me back and back on the stage. He goes, "You know what, Janet? One of the things that's hard for actors is to really enunciate and really Shakespearean talk," he said. He said to me, "And I've got to pull you back because it's like you over enunciate and over Shakespeare." And I went, "What?" He said, "So you got it. Just." So I said, "Okay." But
it is better to do what you had to do rather than to try and get more to be able to enunciate more clearly.
Yeah.
So you did a great job. But I was just reading that. It was like, holy mackerel, that's awesome.
And that, you know what? I'm glad, and it's so cool you play Petruchio, because the guy that played Petruchio, him and I became so close because there were so many moments there, like when Petruchio slaps.
Yeah.
slaps Grumio across the face. And then when he's talking, I was doing stuff like I was praying, like I was almost like hanging myself, because he kept going on and on and on when he was around Kate. But there was just so many things. And they had me and Grumio. Who's the other one?
Hortensio?
Yeah, that was the slave, or the one for there. I can't remember, so we won't go on about it. But it's a really good story. Like, I've seen Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton's movie, one of it. Yeah.
Well, and Shakespeare, you would like to think that Shakespeare was first of all, he was a terrific playwright. But he also had a really wicked sense of humor. For the time, now the language has changed quite a bit now, but for the time, like I remember the one line that I do remember, because it was Kate and Petruchio were talking, and they were actually yelling at each other, and he made a reference about her tail, or a bee and her tail, or something, and then she made a reference, and he said, "What, with my tongue in your tail?" was what. Remember that line?
Yes.
That was, I thought that was a little risque of him.
That was right. Yeah, some of his stuff that comes out, you go, "What?" Yeah. And then just never remember to say that one word in the theater, right? That one word you're never supposed to say in the theater. Do you know what that is?
Which is? No.
Macbeth.
Oh.
You never say that word. I remember someone was just new when we were doing this one, and someone said, "Oh, it's something like," and then they said Macbeth right in the theater, and everybody just went, "You never say that in a theater."
And by the way, actors tend to be a superstitious lot, because
exactly,
because
I would on every. I remember the very first play I did was Harvey. It's that Jimmy Stewart classic.
Jimmy Stewart.
Jimmy Stewart. If you haven't seen the movie Harvey, it's so good. And we did the play for it, and I played Myrtle May Simmons, and it was just it was my very first play I did when I got back into acting, as later in life. And I remember I'd be peering out to see if the audience was there with little holes, and the cast behind me are going, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh, just wanting to see what's going on out there." They said, "Get in your mode." But I was just very new and just wanting to see what was going on in the audience. Yeah.
My favorite story about acting is that, and can I tell you this story real quick?
Yeah,
Jenny, I don't want to steal your thunder, but then we'll
it's your show. Do what you want.
Oh yeah, keep forgetting that. I was doing Fiddler on the Roof, and I was Lazar Wolf the Butcher, and in scene 4, he is going to ask Tevye for his daughter, Tevi's daughter's hand in marriage. And so he's standing. I was standing in the on stage, and it was a barroom scene. And I was waiting for. I was supposed to, because of blocking, I was supposed to turn to my right, and the bartender, whose name is Reb Morka, was going to be behind the bar, and I was supposed to say to him, "Red Marca, a bottle of your best brandy," and because I was going to impress Tevi because Lazar Wolf was a well-to-do guy because he was a butcher, and so I'm standing there, and I have I'm supposed to have a watch in my hand, so I have that, and you know how the blocking goes. That you're ready to go. The screen is closed, or the curtain is closed because it's a dinner show performance. There are 300 people in the audience. I can hear them on the other side, and they're all chatting and talking and stuff. And so it was really exciting. And so our assistant director was, in those days, they had a screen that you would manually pull.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And this is back in the about 1980. But so he was ready to pull the screen. And I looked around, and the bartender's not there. Now I'm supposed to turn, and my first words are going to be Reb Mordka. And I said, Joe, he's not there. Reb Mordka's not there.
Oh no.
And the assistant director, who had a rather nasty sense of humor, slowly smiled at me and opened the curtain. So you know what that's like when you are on stage, and you've got
the improv has to come out.
It's got to do something. So because I've got a fairly powerful voice, I just yelled Reb Morka at the top of my lungs, and you could hear the green room was down the hallway near the back of the theater, and you could hear this person running down toward the stage, so that he could pretend that he was like just off stage a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
But it was like fortunate, because, and then he said later, the song in scene 3 was so beautiful. I was just admiring it and how good it was. And then you screamed at me, and it was like, oh shit.
Well, those things happen. And I'll make this short and sweet too. I was doing London Suite. The guy that was playing my husband, we were supposed to be doing our back and forth titter over these Wimbledon tickets. And all of a sudden I looked at him, and you just see where the eyes go. And I looked at him, and I said, come here. I can't find my stockings that I want to wear. So I dive under the bed, and we're pretending we're throwing underwear, we're throwing stuff, and people are laughing, thinking it's part of the show. And all of a sudden he goes, I forgot my line. I said, here's your lines. And then I said, no, we can't do that now. We jump back up, and he says his line. And then later that in that same show that night, I went to go open the door to let the doctor in. The door wouldn't open. So I can hear him laughing on the other side, and I'm trying to pull the door open. I'm going, these doors. And I'm just going on and on. Oh, and I thought, so that was quite a night. So yeah, there's so many bloopers I can say, but that's what I mean with, that's what I love about theater. You got to improv it through, because things like that can happen, right? Just like what happened.
It makes it really exciting, and being, if you've never done, and I advocate to everybody, and then we'll get on with this, but I advocate to everybody, take an improvisational acting class. That will serve you in every part of your life, because you'll learn to think on your feet, you'll learn what to say and how to say it and all that kind of stuff. So
and it's true. It's true that if I'll say this, being a talent scout for the agency whose roster I am, and just what casting directors and my agent said to me, they love seeing actors who have done theater, because they say theater is harder than film and TV. Film and TV, you can cut, go. Theater, you can't. You're on that stage, man. You gotta just go for it. The only time you have off if there's the intermission, and that's, or going from act to act. Yeah.
One is I could just tell this story just real quick. When we were doing Taming of the Shrew, the Kate that they picked was a little on the heavy side.
Oh yes.
And at one point, I am supposed to put her over my shoulder and go walking off. So I tried to put her over, and it was a balancing act to put her over your shoulder and not fall down. Well, I didn't do it very well, and so we both fell over in a heap on the stage,
Oh, no.
and then I just dragged her off by her hair or some silly thing. You just never know. And it's
Make
always
it part of the show. Just make it part of the show.
exactly. But we're here talking, and now we're going to talk about why we're here because.
Okay, we got Jenny sneezing. You got me. My eyes are watering. And we don't have COVID, people.
Yes,
we
we're
really
safe.
don't.
No, we don't. And we're here with
Yeah.
Janet Walmsley, right?
Walmsley.
Walmsley. I get it sooner or later. Walmsley and Jenny Story. And
Yeah,
we're
Yes,
going to talk. She's easy. She's good. So we're going to talk about, first of all, Janet's the mom, Jenny's the daughter, and Janet resumed the acting career that we've been talking about when she was like 41 years old. But there was so she had Jenny before that, and Jenny was born in just a normal, happy little girl. But then at 3 years old, you discovered something. What did you discover?
Well, to tell you the truth, I didn't know what I discovered at the beginning because I had never heard of the word autism. Unbeknownst to me, Jenny was showing me all the signs of autism. Flapping hands, spin yourself in circles, would get very upset if we didn't have the same routine, whether it was walking on stones to the park, which we did a lot, or going in a grocery store. So everything was really routine for her. And also even her five senses, very sensitive, more so than what we would have with our senses. That's touch, taste, sound, lights. She would want to eat the same thing all the time. Just so many things. And so I didn't realize it was until we went to the specialist. And that's when I was actually sat down and the specialist said to me, your daughter's never going to talk. She's never going to do well in school. She's never going to be where peers are. She's going to have a bleak future. And I am just sitting there going, can you not give me one smidgen of positiveness here, please? Just one? Because I thought poor little thing just went through 2 days of rigorous testing. And I just wanted to wave a magic wand and make her be like everybody else. But what came out from the tests were that it was autism. But back then, they didn't, I don't like this word, have a label for it. So they had to give her a label of mentally handicapped. So we desperately needed support. So this would be able to go through the children's services. I mean, we're in Vancouver, BC now, but when Jenny was young and growing up, we lived in Vernon. But I remember, and I'll never forget this, my poor mom, she was there at the specialist 2 days too, just to be supportive of us. And I remember she was walking in front of me. I very nicely, kindly thanked the specialist, but as I walked out the door, my poor mom breathing down her neck. That's not going to happen, and so we were very fortunate. I talk about in our book about our dream team. I felt like I hit gold mine with every single one of them, right from the professionals, the speech therapist, language therapist, pathologist, to the the play therapist, to the psychologist, to the rabbit daycare that she went to, angels, to our respite care people, right through to the school system. I have so many people at our book signings and speaking engagements just in tears saying that the school system hasn't been there. They're trying to get help for their child. I had one woman say the money allotment that was supposed to be given to her child was dispersed out on other things with the school. So I was fortunate. They brought me in, every single professional, non-professional, every schooling, everybody brought me in and had me as part of the team. That's why I call us the dream team. And we went through goals, we went through reviews, so that whatever they were doing with Jenny, I would also be able to carry on at home. I even went as far as to the States, to Sheffield, Massachusetts, to a couple named Samantha and Bernard Kaufman, who actually had a movie, Sunrise, A Miracle Continues, about their son, Ron. They were told the same thing to him. And they now have the Autism Treatment Center in Sheffield, Massachusetts, where they work with parents and autistic children. And their son has turned out to where Jenny has today. So my thought to expand here is for children of autistic parents, when they're told their child is autistic, to remember you're their rock, you're their voice, You're their sounding board. You're their support, because at that time they can't talk, and be there for them every step of the way, and take them whatever level of autism. As we know, there's different levels of autism, but whatever level of autism they're at, to let them reach, each one of them reach their peak, because they richly deserve that. They richly deserve to get as much in life as any other child or individual.
Well, autism, as you know, because you've written a book about it, and you're working with Jenny over her life,
Yes.
you know that autism now is affecting more people than, and it's like 1 in 8 or something is somewhere on the spectrum, or 1 in
Yep.
20, somewhere's in there. It's that number's in. It used to be like 1 in 60, and
Yeah.
but then they've redefined what the spectrum is, I guess, and it's
Yes.
now it's quite a lot of people, and it's environmental. The causes they don't really know, but it
Yeah.
can be
There's so
environmental.
many
Okay.
there's so many things that they're saying. Like it's vaccinations, it's environment, it's hereditary. I will say with us, on Jenny's father's side, on my side, and I've looked fully into it, that there hasn't been per se autism
I'm the first.
in the family. So this is where it's been sort of different. And this is a real controversy, because I'm not against vaccines. I'm going to tell you that much. I've never been against vaccines. However, Jenny took very sick after one of her vaccines before this all came about, because she was developing mentally and physically the way she was supposed to. She had a really bad reaction for the vaccine. It almost killed her. She was in the hospital for 2 weeks. And I'll never forget, as time went on, when we got back home, she was a fighter. Jenny's always been a fighter. She fought through that. She lived through it. But I remember my friend saying to me after a little while, when I went back to work, and I knew it too, but I wasn't saying anything because I thought, what is going on here? I remember her saying to me, I went in to get her one day, and she goes, I don't know who that is in my living room, but it's not Jenny. Where the heck did Jenny go?
Mm.
So that's the only thing with vaccinations. I think sometimes you have to figure out with vaccinations, and especially with a young child, if there could be a blood test or an allergy test, just to make sure they don't react to it. But I'm not saying per se that's a cause of it, because there's so many avenues. But you are totally right. Let's go to there. Autism is on the rise. It has been for the past few decades. Before, it was more in boys, but now there's quite a few girls where it's happening too. And a lot of people have said, because it's not said so much about girls, it's with girls sometimes are a little bit different with their autism than boys are. You find some autistic individuals, they're very in your face. They don't know the space zone, the privacy,
Right.
the boundaries. Yeah. And Jenny is more opposite. She's a little bit more quieter, a bit more shyer. But she speaks when when she wants to speak. But so that's all those different levels of autism that there is out there.
Well, and to fast forward to everybody, because if you want to go back to a previous Positive Talk Radio episode, and it may have been my independence report at that time, we had them on, and we discussed your adolescence and how difficult it was, and that you are I believe that you were really fortunate to have a mama bear for a mom that would not take no for an answer, and really was your best advocate as you were growing up. But let's focus on Jenny, the adult, now, because you are quite the impressive young lady, and I don't mean that as you are impressive. Even though I mean, as standalone, just by yourself, you're an impressive young woman. I got to tell you.
Oh, thank you very much. That's so sweet of you to say.
Well, I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it.
Thank you.
Yeah, because do you remember when I first spoke to Jenny about writing this book about her? I thought, oh gosh, I'm going to be exposing her naked out to the world. And she said this. Do you remember what you said?
Yeah, when I thought about it, it's like, if this could help one autistic person and their family and like help inspire them go after their dreams and do what they like, then we would be doing something good and giving back to the world. And just, if my story can like help, people like not to be scared of being autistic or just inspire them to do what they want, then I think I'm doing something good, and that's what matters in the end, right?
Thank you for doing that and for saying that, because you're right. If we can do something good, in the world, if you can have positive, that's what this program's all about. If the three of us sitting here can positively affect one person, we've done our job.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly it. And like with Jenny too, like I just want parents to know I was never an assertive person, but I became assertive and a mama bear after we tried to do a hearing test to figure out what was going on with Jenny, and to see her so upset, so frustrated, and these severe temper tantrums that she would have. I'd have to put her in a bath about 10 times a day. The water calmed her down. That's probably why she's like a dolphin or a fish now. But if anything I can relate to parents is it's okay to be assertive, not aggressive. I was very kind, assertive, both with the professionals, with daycares, with schools. And one thing, cheer your child on, cheer them on. If anything I wanted to do for Jenny is give her confidence in herself and belief in herself. And I knew she could do the academics because she's a smart young lady. I was always concerned about socialization because that is very key with, I would say 99% of autistic individuals is socialization. So every year with all the groups of our dream team, I talk about socialization. I talk about conversation. That's why play therapy was so, let's go German, wunderbar with Jenny, because it really taught Jenny how to converse, how to play appropriately with children, because she never wanted anybody to play with her, and she kept everything to herself, and she'd line things up, and heaven forbid if you took it out of the lineup or if anybody tried to socialize with her, because she was in like this little bubble of her own. That's why I thought at first it was her hearing. But now I see her now, and like being on this show, and we have our book signings, and I saw her on Saturday, just talking with people. She's come such a long way. I'm just so happy for her and so proud of her.
Well, if you're just tuning in now, when Janet got the diagnosis when she was 3 years old, the doctor was a bit of a sour fella when he said that she wasn't going to be able to do anything really in life except just sit there. And now look at her today. We haven't even talked about your authorship of 2 books that are doing extraordinarily well, and there they are. And you've written them both, and tell us about. There's a little gold seal on the blue one right there. What does that say? The gold seal.
So we entered this in a contest called the Book Excellence Award, and it was one of the Book Excellence Award finalists. So I made it into like the finalists of their.
And we found out we got some good news today.
Yeah, so I also entered the second one in there as well, and because they enjoyed like the artwork and the story around it and the characters, it also made it into the Book's Excellence Award finalist as well. So,
yeah, she just found out about that today.
So
that is awesome.
And I'll plug mine too. I've got one too.
Oh, good for you.
And I also won in New York the Indie Books Awards Generation Award too in New York. So, and Jenny's just entered that with her book as well.
Yeah. So fingers crossed.
And
they are award-winning books. They're also bestsellers. But our main goal is we just want to share our story to shine a positive, not only for the autistic community, for families and autistic individuals, but also for the general public, to shed the stigma block that still surrounds autism, and to show these beautiful individuals who are such a lovely asset to society and to the workforce. I hear a lot of autistic individuals having issues trying to get on in the workforce. It's getting better, but yeah.
It's hard now. Jenny, if you were to go to work in like a 9 to 5 or like at a restaurant or doing something like that, what would it be that you would choose to do?
Like any just regular job in general?
Yeah, just any kind of job that you would do. What would you like to do?
Okay, well, I guess aside from like the animation, like working in an animation studio,
Well, you do background acting?
Yeah, I do background acting, but that varies sometimes. Like sometimes it can be 3 hours, but it's like usually 6 hours, and then depending, you could hit overtime. My Julie and the Phantoms was a good one for that. I just got to sit there around till the very end, and then I did stuff.
She just started getting into background acting, and actually almost 2 years, and she's really enjoying it. And she just signed on with my agent to try out some speaking roles. What did you do in high school that you really? What job did you get in high school?
Oh, I worked at Taco Town when I was a teenager. That was fun. I worked out for the cashier sometimes, and then sometimes I usually work most in the back though, with like making the food and like that. But I did work a little bit in the cashier. I liked working in the back though.
Jenny always liked tacos, and I spoke with the owners and explained the scenario of Jenny being autistic and shy, and math was a little bit harder for her. And they took her on right away. They said, "We'd love to have Jenny." I remember these two women so well, and they took Jenny on. And I know there's times it was a bit nerve-wracking for her, but I thought it was good for her to step into something like that. And she ended up doing really well with it.
Yeah, I managed a Mexican restaurant for a number of years, and
Oh,
and Jenny, I mean to tell you, making a burrito is not easy in the beginning.
Oh gosh, no! Holy smokes! Yes, but I did okay. They look perfect. No one complains. So that's always good.
Well, that's cool because you're putting them together so that all the innards stay in there, and it's solid and it looks good. It took me a while to figure out how to be able to do that, but good for you. And that's working there. I mean, it's a fast paced job, and there's lots of stuff to do. Now, explain to me, because I'm not sure that we know what it is down here. When you say background acting, what are you talking about?
Oh, so like
extras.
Oh, okay, or extras.
They call it extras?
You can call it that too. Extras, I just call it background work. So so like extras, like people in behind the movies, like in the background where the main character's talking, and then there's like people either walking or like talking on coffee tables. That's what I would be doing in background work. They'd either assign me to like either walk around, or I'd be at a table talking to people, whatever they want me to do. Or like I remember with Motherland, there was this one part where the goal was like we weren't happy with these witches, and so we were in a riot, and so we had to do riot stuff. So I was in a riot for that. So it was interesting.
That would be fun.
That's some really cool stuff. Actually, here's something cool. Her and I played Mom Whelan in The Unforgivable, the Sandra Bullock movie that's on Netflix.
Yes.
Jenny did background in that.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I got to see Sandra Bullock from afar, which was awesome. Yeah, so I'm not in the movie, but it was still cool to be there.
Yeah, so she did background, and I did the role of Mom Whelan in it. So it's kind of cool to have a mother-daughter sort of scenario there too, not only books but in acting.
That is awesome. By the way, I'm a firm believer in following your passion. And Jenny, when you were talking about being a background actor, you lit up.
Yeah.
I want you to watch this again, because when you start talking about that, you absolutely your light was on vibrate. It was really high, and you did it really nice. So that tells me that by all means, that is a great thing for you to be doing.
Yeah,
and it's fulfilling for you, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's nice. And I get to like meet other people and talk to people, because like as much as I love writing and animating, for now, especially with COVID, I kind of have to stay at home and work by myself. But with like doing the background work, yeah, we still have distances, like, for safety, but we get to still interact and talk to each other. And I've even made friends. Actually, yesterday, one of the friends that I met on Motherland, I met with her yesterday because we went to go see Fantastic Beasts for her birthday. So, yeah.
Oh, that is really cool. By the way,
and this is what I loved about her doing this, because I want her to get out, there and socialize and be with other people. So it's just, you don't know what it does to my heart to see her doing stuff like this. And when I see her at the book signings, because I just remember before, and if anybody saw Jenny before, they see her now, they go, is that the same person? Like, so it's just a joy to see her doing everything she's doing.
Now, because she started out and was so wanted to be alone and kind of an introvert, and you look at her now, like you were just saying, you wouldn't have guessed that in a million years. So when was it, and how did that transformation come about? You have any idea?
Do you remember?
For like being more extroverted, I suppose.
Yeah, to being wanting to be around people and wanting to experience what they have to say and stuff, and to really and to be the person that you are, because I got to tell you, you are adorable.
Thank
You just really
you.
are. When you that smile of yours, and when you talk, you light up a room. You know how few people can light up a room?
Oh, thank
That's
you.
that's what we
Yeah.
always hear, like
Aw.
at signings, and that's so kind of you to say, because I know, Jenny, there is still traits there for autism, but they can be very subtle. I know they're there because I know Jenny, so does her brother and people that know her really well. But a lot of people say, "What?" Like,
Yeah.
but she knows how to work with it now, and even
Yeah.
though there's times it still can be, you know, sometimes we go to book signings and Jenny goes, "Oh, I feel sick to my stomach. I don't know if I really want to do this." And here's Mom, lovely mother. Here's a bag, puke. We got to go. This goes. Where's the mother that's in the book? Oh, poor Jenny. She knows I'm kidding though.
Well, you do, and the two of you make a great duo, and it would be great fun, tell us, by the way, tell us about the book signing you did on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it started at 1, but we got up there early to set, and they had our books there because we're in they're in assignment thing.
They're not consignment. They're right in the book system. They're right in the. We're not consignment like a lot of authors are, but they've got us right in Indigo system.
And so they had books, and then we usually put up little newspapers and like informations about the books around the table, and then
posters,
book posters too. And then we interacted with the people. My mom usually goes around like the building talking to people, and then I'll just kind of stay close to the table and like, hello, say hi to people and how they are, and if they want to like listen and hear what the books are about, then I'll talk to them, let them know, and if they're not, then I just let them go because I don't want to like bug them, I guess.
Yeah, the manager and the people that look after the stores, and this one included, he's had us at a former store he was at about 6 times. He's had us there a few times, but what he loves is how Jenny stays at the table and she does her thing around the table, and then Mom here, I go all around the store
and interact because and
interact, like, and let people know that we're here, let them know about her book and my book, and then a lot of them beeline it right for the table, and there's Jenny, and then Jenny will talk about her book and my book at the table, and she'll draw people in and say hi, and it's just amazing how it works. We have other authors saying, "Why?" Well, yeah, but you've got 2 of you. I says, then bring someone with you that's passionate, whether it's a family member or a friend. They can walk the store, and then you can stay there or switch up. So yeah, and then her book signing this time, we had a woman who wants us to talk at a high school about her story. We had another one that, let's just go on another podcast. It's a Canadian podcast. It's a Canuck podcast. And we have people that want us to go different organizations and things. We've just been asked to speak at a huge thing at the Autism BC. They want to have us. This store we were at on Saturday is asking us back. Plus, we have other stores now that are getting a hold of us that we've been to before, but now that COVID, they're slowing down, that are asking us. So it was a very successful and wonderful day, the people that we met.
Yeah, we met a lot
and
of
you
nice
almost ran out of books.
Yeah, I only had one more left of the first one. We're all gone.
And her second one sold, and then quite a few of mine sold. So it was a very successful day. But it's also the connections we make. It's also the people we meet. The families who have an autistic child, or they know an autistic person, or you have people that come to our signings that have read our book, and it's just made them so happy and hopeful because they see a light at the end of the dark tunnel and rainbows of colors. We have a future. Our child has a future. We have a future. And I also beeline for siblings, because siblings kind of get left out. They're also in the picture too, right? They're living it, and a lot of them get jealous or they're very embarrassed by their autistic sibling. So I beeline a lot to talk to them, to see how life's going, what they like, and how they feel about it. So there's just a really nice essence that happens at our signings.
Now you have Jenny, of course, and then you have a son. Is that right?
I have a son, Chris, who lives in Australia. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And who also, when he was in high school, was writing, and also, God, he's so great at his artwork. And I kept it, and I said to him, "You should do it." And he goes, "No."
What in the world is he doing in Australia?
Well, actually, he's in Tasmania right now. He met an Aussie. He's lived there for 15 years. He has 2 boys now. We're hoping to go there, hopefully, end of this year. And so he met her, and he couldn't live without her, left Canada, went to Australia, and he's been there ever since. They just moved to Tasmania last June. Yeah.
Don't you know that they have like snakes there and spiders and
Oh,
crocodiles and great white sharks and all
We
that?
actually were there. We were actually there 3 years ago, and but we were fortunate. We didn't see any of that. But
It
boy,
was only Dad getting attacked by them.
yeah, my koala bear. I finally got to hold a koala bear, and her name was Snow. And I thought, well, that's
Yeah.
typical for being Canadian. Yeah. But one thing that we wanted to let you know, Kevin, one thing we're really excited about, because this is coming out, it's being published and it's coming out on June 1st. Jenny and I are co-authors of a book that's being available then called Pursuit 365. And we're thrilled to be a part of it because it encompasses persons from all walks of life. It really grabs at your heartstrings and your souls because it's very inspirational, engaging, and raw stories that are being told by all these different individuals in the book.
And the name of the book again is?
It's called it's Pursuit, PURSUIT -365. And it's a book with 365 people. And they're sharing all their stories of something that's happened in their lives or something that's gone on in their lives. And it's really engaging stories. They're very inspirational, but there's also very raw stories. And Jenny's on one page of it, and I'm on the other side of the book on a page of it. So it's been exciting to be a part of that.
Yeah, that is really super. That is really cool.
And what did you just do recently, Jenny?
Oh, with what?
Charmaine and Michael.
Oh yes. We talked to Shrew. So there's this for a company, Raise a Dream by Charmaine, and another partner of hers. But she had a special with this guy named Michael, who's an animator, and because they're working on a film together. But he made this little animated short called Back Home Again, which is around the fires of Fort McMurray and like all the people getting affected by it, but it's like they're all animals, like so think Zootopia in a sense. And so yeah, we talked to them because I'm hoping to make my first book here into a animated film or TV show. And so yeah, we talked to them and they gave me some like advice and tips on what to do. And now we're like looking at places for like because I finished actually some of the script for it, and so now we're going to like script writing places where they do grants and that for it. So yeah,
and it's really cool because Michael is his name.
Yeah.
He's produced and kind of directed this, and Charmaine is one of the producers, and it's called Back Home Again. But listen to the cast they have in it: Eugene Levy, Catherine O'Hara, Martin Short, Jeremy Renner, Mr. Hawkeye, Kim Basinger, Tom Green, Graham Greene. And what he did is because he was around Fort McMurray when this is northern Alberta where there's that huge fire. It just about took everything away, but he does it from the animal's perspective. So he's got the real seriousness in it, but then he's got the humor with it. And you can hear Martin Short in his character, and Eugene Levy, they even make his eyebrows in it. Like, and he's I can't remember what animal he plays.
I think he was a duck.
I think he was a duck, yeah. But so well done. And so it was really nice of them to talk with Jenny because then she could get inspiration and tips and avenues to bring her books to life in an animated series or movie.
Yeah.
Now, are you thinking about putting that all together yourself in your own studio, or are you going to try and sell it to somebody to do it professionally, or do it because you're a professional at what you do? Because you also were awarded for the covers of your books as well, so they thought that was pretty outstanding because you did the covers yourself, right?
No, that was done by a nice lady named Trista Baldwin. But I do my own illustrations.
But her illustrations
that's
she
what it
has
was.
in her book, and I think maybe that's what
I'll
you're.
show you.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Here, like this.
She's gotten a lot of reviews of
cool.
her illustrations, and with her being a 2D, 3D animator, what she wants to do, she wants to work with the producers and studios where she can be part of the animation process. Yeah,
That's cool. Well, I wish you a lot of oh wow.
Yeah, she does all the illustrations in both books. So yeah, it's been really Really cool for Jenny to be meeting people like this, because this is her next goal. I mean, when you think, I can just put a conclusion to it like this. When you think of what I was told when she was young, never talk, never do well in school, never be where peers are, her future was bleak. Now she's 29. She became a 2D, 3D animator before she was 20. Her first book was out before she was 21. She's doing all these books. She's doing script work for the books now, and
shorts.
And she's doing animated shorts, and she's just like, some people don't even have one profession, more or less 2, 3, 4, and it's just amazing. And I gotta say, this one woman, when I wrote my book, she had bought it, and she went back to the States, and she read my book on her flight home with the plane. She read it all. She got a hold of me, and she said, "Wow, I want to do a Jenny." She says, to see that girl push down her fears, push down her barriers, push down her obstacles, and do what she's doing. She says, "I want to do that. I want to push my fears this way. I want to." And she'd never been around autism before. And she said, "Janet, you gave me such a enlightening, eye-opening viewpoint. My viewpoint has totally changed."
You know what which by the way is awesome. But I was sitting here just thinking to myself, you do animated shorts. Do you think you could create a short, fat white guy?
I can see what I can do for sure.
You should have Kevin do a voiceover of one of your characters when we do this.
That's what I'm thinking, is that we could put together. We should talk. We should talk, because I would love to create an animated short that I could voice over, that I could use my voice and stuff like that to be part of it.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I could definitely do that. Yeah, I'd love to talk about that with you for sure.
So let me ask you, is it easier to draw a short, fat white guy, or a tall black white guy, or a tall white guy?
Oh my gosh. Let me see. I think because of movement, you could have more fun with someone bigger, whereas a tiny person is just like, it depends what kind of like animation and style you're looking for, because they both.
And how much you can make us jiggle and that kind of. Yeah, no, I said that. I really didn't mean that. So, you guys, it is such a pleasure to talk to you guys. You're fun. I am so excited for your future, Jenny.
Thank you.
I think that your future is bright and it's golden, and you're going to do some incredible things in your life. And thanks, Mom, for helping her make that happen.
Well, that's the whole essence of being a mom, right? You brought them into the world. You want to give them the best. You want to be there for them. And I don't even think of it as a job, being a mom. I just enjoy it so much, and I'm very honored to be her mom. And I've always said, even when I was younger, I wanted to be a mom, and I've got 2 great kids. You couldn't ask for a better son or daughter, and I just feel very, very fortunate.
And the really cool thing here is that not only is Jenny successful, and Jenny's done a great deal, but you're not bad yourself there, Toots. So,
I'm doing okay, right? Yeah. Never thought I'd write a book. Got a book. Never thought I'd get back into acting. And I've been on film, TV, movies, theater, directed. Now I'm a talent scout. Now I also teach my classes. Anybody just starting out in acting, I do it on Zoom. So I do it for background actors crossing over to speaking roles, theater crossing over to film and TV, people who just thought, oh, I gave up my calling. It's called Shifting Lanes. And I love teaching this class. I'm doing it for a few years now through Actor Van Studios here. But I also I coach actors for their auditions. I also do packages for actors to help them bring an acting package in front of an agent, getting an agent to make it pop. And then I act too. So there's many things. And I also I used to be a dental assistant and hygienist for 27 years. I just did this not too long ago. Because I don't want to give up my dental bit. I do dental promos in stores for dental products. Everybody goes, where do you have the time to do all this? So I don't know. Well, I wonder why Jenny is the way she is, because she's seen that through me all my life. So
Yeah, when you spent 27 years sticking your hands in people's mouths. I don't know. I could not do that, but that's okay.
I loved it. Loved it.
So since you're so plugged in, if you know anybody that is looking for a voiceover of a really, I've been told, I don't know if it's true or not, but I've been told that I have one of my doctors says I put your podcast on when I'm ready to go to sleep because your voice is so soothing.
Yes,
So,
it is very, very much so. I'll have to check out about this because sometimes, like I remember when I first started out here, because 99% we're Hollywood North, right? Vancouver. And
Right.
we have so many American produced shows here that I think I said this before. The last one is trying to learn when you first start the standard American accent. I said, what standard American accent? I said, I know Southern, I know Minnesota, because I'm from Manitoba. I says, but what are you talking about? What's standard American? Because I remember the first one I did for a TV show, and they said, producer loves you, da 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 da. But boy, we got to get rid of that Canuck accent. And I went, what?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, eh?
Yeah, oh, we don't say a boot. Everyone says a boot. That's people in the East. But, it is. There's things like out and about and sorry. We say sorry. And I just had an audition for a TV series here. It was one of the Wayland's brothers that's doing it. And I had to remember, it's not process, it's process. And it's not often, it's often. Like, you really, and we Canadians, we're flat toned, we upspeak, everything's like a question. Americans are very up and down and then down. So it's big difference. Didn't know that.
It's a real art form to be able to. Accents are really a good accent. I dabble, but I'm not very good at any of them. But to really do a good accent is really hard.
Yeah, well, in plays, did the British, and I lived in Germany for a few years. So, actually, the one that got Best Supporting Actress for a comedy in LA a couple of years back, I played Dr. Hilda van den Garten. I was a German sex therapist, and I was just hilarious. And he said, "Go for it, Janet." So I put Dr. Ruth in a whole different form.
So you won Best Supporting Actress in something?
I was nominated I didn't win. I was told, and I was, but I was nominated for Best Supporting Actress in a comedy in LA. And actually, Alexander Paul, I don't know if you know her, but she played the lieutenant in Baywatch. She was also the lead. I don't know if you remember the cult classic. It was Christine. It was the red car. She played the lead actress in that, but she was also the lieutenant in Baywatch. So she was one of the actors in my category. And Richard Hatch was my idol. Judd Hirsch was nominated in something, the guy from Taxi. Yeah, there were some well-known people there. And everybody was so kind, so nice. Just had a wonderful time at it. Yeah.
Did you get to walk on the red carpet?
Yes. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That would be. What did somebody interview
Jenny
you?
came with me too. It was really and a few that the director was there, the writer, one of the other actors, another actor was nominated too, and the show was nominated. Yeah, so it was really cool.
Well, congratulations. You have both had quite a life, and it's only going to get better from here.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Well, you are wonderful. We want to thank you for having us, Kevin. You make really, seriously, you just make a person feel so good about themselves, but you also are very intuitive, but you're really genuine, interested in the story, and you feel it. And that is something when you're being interviewed that is really nice to have for us. So thank you so much for being you and having us on your show. You're wonderful. You really are.
Well, thank you so much. But I got to tell you, your story, it touches the heart because everybody wants good things to happen for people. And when they actually happen, it really is a heartwarming story. And Jenny, you are the first time I met you, you were a little bit quieter. I feel like we've gotten to know each other now, and you're just for lack of a better term, you're adorable. And Mom, so are you, because you're a great team, and the love between you is so huge we need more of what you guys have and what you bring to the world.
Well, thank you,
you.
Kevin. They always
Yeah.
say you can never be your child can never be your best friend. But I gotta say, as much as I'm very responsible for my kids, always have been. I was, had my sternness with them too. But I gotta say, my daughter and my son are my best friends. They truly are. I know some people don't believe in that, but for us, it's worked. I'm their mom, number one. I always am, but I'm also their best friend and vice versa.
See, my take is kind of like that, in that when my kids were growing up, I was dad. I was responsible. I made sure they did their homework and but now they're older. They're 30 and 33, and now it's like it's transitioned. I'm not
Yes.
their father. I'm their friend. And if I can be of service to them and to help them through some of the things in life, then that's what I do. And a lot of times I'll say, maybe you should think about this. And they'll say, Dad, shut up. Okay, well, I'll just be over here, just minding my own business. Because they're grown men, and they can do what they like. So
yeah, well, and I think as parents, that's where some parents have it really hard with the empty nest syndrome, because the child goes and you're just going, okay, and then you look at the husband. Who are you?
Yeah, that was.
I say that jokingly. Everybody out there, I say that jokingly. Yeah.
No. You have no idea how really true that is. And the couples that make it after that, after the kids leave, are the ones who can rediscover each other.
Yes.
But a lot of people have gotten
true.
so far apart that it's
Yeah.
hard for them to rediscover each other and to make it work. So but that's a story for another time.
That's a story. And just to let you know, our books are on. Here goes the mother with the plugin. Our books are on Amazon. They're on Indigo. We have our website too. What?
Barnes and Noble.
Barnes and Noble. We have our own websites, and all you have to do, if you just look up Janet Walmsley or Jenny's story, they'll just come right up on Google. They'll come up there, and our websites are on there as well, because you can buy them from us too, and we'll sign them. We have personalized bookmarks we give out. So we're just thank you for having us.
Yeah,
thank you for letting us share our story and our books and our acting. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing a podcast for acting with a girl from LA, because she heard about my story of coming out, and later in life and everything else that I do. So I'm going to be doing that next month as well. So kind of veering off in that route.
Well, that's wonderful. And by the way, you're not later in life. You're just more experienced.
You know what? Yeah. But I don't know. Like I say to Jenny, sometimes I care what people say. Sometimes I don't. I says, I feel like I've gotten into that older 66-year-old.
You're only as old as you feel.
That's right, Jenny.
Well, sometimes I get people that will comment on my podcast. And in this particular one, there was a volume issue. And so he said, you have a volume issue on this, because when I listened to, and I was having a gentleman by the name of he was the Cigarette Whisperer, and they help people quit smoking cigarettes.
Yes.
And he said, when the Whisperer is talking, he has one level, and when the old guy is talking, that's.
Oh no!
So I deleted him and blocked him.
Do you know what it is, Kevin? I don't know about you and about all of your viewers out there, but sometimes I forget I'm 66. I keep thinking I'm 26 or 36 because I still feel that way. I still feel alive and, live life. And my motto is live, love, learn, play, enjoy every day. Treat every day like your last. Well, don't think of it that way, but, and just enjoy your life. I'm 66, we can't stop it, right? But don't. I remember my girlfriend when we turned 30, she goes, "Oh, I guess I have to get out the 4-trail pants." I'm going, "What are you talking about?" I said, "What?"
It's just a number, but I'll tell you, I'm 64, and
64.
Will you still need me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64? But I didn't
No
think
Beatles
that
song.
very good, very good. And but before we go, Jenny, I want to give you the opportunity to have the last word and to say anything that you would like to our audience that's listening now or will listen to this podcast in the future, because it's going to be a good one.
Okay. Where should I start? Just enjoy, like my mom said before, enjoy life. Do what you want to do, like me writing my books or animating. It's just because you only get one life, so why not do what you love with it? And yeah, and I hope you're having a great day.
Well said. Perfectly said, I might say.
Thank you.
By the way, we've been talking to Janet. I'm not going to mess up your last name. And your last name is?
Walmsley.
Walmsley, which is a good British name. And Jenny Story have been our guests, and their mother-daughter, and their actress and writer and some really, really cool people. So I hope you'll take time to listen to this podcast and go to positivetalkradio.net. I would appreciate that as well. Thank you, you two, and you stay right where you are, and I'll be right back. Thanks for enjoying this episode all the way to the end. Please give us a like and subscribe to this channel. This has been a production of kmmedia.pro. Please visit our website, oddly enough, named kmmedia.pro, for more details about us and our mission, which is to provide great positive programming designed to inspire us all. I'm Kevin McDonald, and I'm proud of these shows, and I truly hope that you'll like them and share them with friends and family. So on behalf of our entire team, remember, be kind to each other,